Hey all, welcome back to Moonli. I am Moonli or Erin, whatever you guys want to call me. Wanted to tell you all that I'm actually back. So I know I haven't been on here in a long time. I actually haven't even created a video in months. I can't remember the last time I created a video. So I thought we'd do a little bit of an update because I've gotten so many new followers on here, new subscribers, and people have sent me emails. Just the biggest thing that people appreciate is the endometriosis story. So thank you for everyone that has watched that, and for anyone that has endometriosis, I am so sorry. I know how painful that disease is, how hard it is to get answers, and how long it takes to actually get answers. So I really hope that the information was super helpful for you. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to do an update of like, what are we gonna do with Moonli? Like, am I coming back? Am I not coming back? What do I plan on doing? So I did realize that I actually really love YouTube. I think YouTube is super fun. It's a really great way to connect with people, but it's also, I prefer videos. I think I love like making videos and editing, and then seeing what you guys have to say. Telling my story in this way is so much fun. So a few life updates. So number one, I mainly disappeared because I actually started my nutrition course. So I recently finished my nutrition course with the Nutritional Therapy Association out of Washington, and I'm officially a functional nutritional therapy practitioner, which is so crazy because last year, so rewind, 2 years ago, okay, so 2 years ago, I pretty much, like finished my degree in world politics, was trying to figure out what I want to do. All of this crazy stuff happened, healing, therapy, etc. Created the Moonli account after I figured out I had endometriosis, and then as I had that first year of that account, I loved what I was doing and I loved the community that I was creating, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do to give back. Like, I obviously was giving this free information, but at the same time, I have student debts. And I also knew since I was young, I always wanted to start my own business. So I was like, what am I gonna do? So I had started tracking my cycle. So that was something I was always super interested in, was becoming a fertility awareness method instructor, especially within the Black community, because I don't think I actually know I know one Black person. I know one person that actually teaches a fertility awareness method that's Black. She's from Canada. But most people I know who teach it are not, and I thought it'd be really cool to be part of that community. But when I was looking into a nutrition course, I found this one which I really liked. I liked that it made me more than just a health coach. I liked that I actually was able to prescribe vitamins and minerals and identify deficiencies in people's bodies, and I just thought that would be so helpful, especially working with people with endometriosis, because we have so many gut issues often associated with endo, and because there's so many gut issues, there are also so many imbalances and so many nutritional imbalances as well. So essentially, I went to the NTA's website, I think like last November, and I was getting ready to like look into the program. It's not a cheap program, so I was thinking, I don't know if I'll do this. I might just do the program for the fertility awareness method out of England. But then they had a scholarship section, and I was like, why not? I probably won't get it, but I'll give it a go. So I applied for the scholarship, and one morning we were just like waking up, getting ready to take my partner to work, and I was checking my email like I do every morning, and I had gotten the scholarship, and I was like, what? No way. And that was just kind of it for me. I feel like for me, that was kind of the sign of, if I don't do this now, I'm probably never going to do it, because it is so expensive, and it's an honor to be able to get a scholarship for something like this. So I took the course. It was really hard, which is one of the reasons that I kind of like went stale on Instagram, blogging, and YouTube. I just didn't have the time. They say the course is only about 20 hours a week, but in reality, it's like 30 to 40 hours a week, and I'm not the only person that thought that. There are so many people in my course that also felt the same way. So it was just a really busy course, and then COVID hit, and yeah, like originally, so there's 3 workshops with this course because there's a functional part. That's what makes it so cool and so different from health coaching. It has these extra parts and this extra knowledge and background and scientific information that we're given to support our clients, which I think is so crucial and important. And yeah, I just love it. So essentially with this course, we were supposed to be going to Brisbane 3 times for my in-person assessments, for my functional assessment. Essentially, like we do the FCA. So the FCA is a functional clinical assessment where you explain to where essentially we test for different points in the body for inflammation. So this is mainly in the digestive area, so like the liver, gallbladder, like large intestine, small intestine, and we check for certain points and their levels of tenderness. And with that, we were able to try to identify what could be going on. So for example, if you have pain in your stomach duodenum area, we might be looking at HCl balance or something along that lines. So it was super interesting to learn about, and I absolutely loved it. And there were definitely times where I really, really hated the course. Don't get me wrong, I think there is still a lot of privilege in nutrition. And I think there's still a lot of privilege in nutrition, which kind of makes it hard to get people to look outside of what they know. Like, of course, eating organic foods is the best thing you can do for yourself and your body. But let's be real, like organic foods is catered to one type of person in this world, and it's not the type of people that I want to mainly focus on. Of course, I want to work with all uterus owners, but especially the ones that, you know, need extra support. And saying, if you're not eating grass-fed beef, blah, 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 like that just doesn't work for me. So there were definitely flaws to the course, but overall, I'm really excited to start practicing as a functional nutritional therapy practitioner. And also, I started a business. What? Yeah, so I started a business in August. It's called the Onus Collaborative, and basically we are dedicated to dismantling the gap between maternity care providers and pregnant and postpartum individuals across the United States. So we're an online educational directory. And so our directory allows for maternity care providers from midwives, doulas, pelvic floor PTs, lactation specialists, massage therapists, birth educators, and mental health professionals. They can get on there and create a listing, and we have a free listing option and a paid listing option. And each one, like obviously you're gonna be paying if you can add more stuff to your profile, and you're not gonna be paying and you'll have less stuff on your profile. But essentially, pregnant postpartum individuals will be able to find a provider within a 45-mile radius of their location, and it's been super fun and a lot of learning lessons along the way. I think that's just starting a business. And because we recently started the business, it's been awesome. Like it amazes me to meet so many different providers and how they got into this work, but also meet moms and finding their stories and their background, and, you know, just hearing some really incredible but also really sad things. There's a lot of, you know, miscarriages and stillbirths that happen, and obstetric violence and how that impacts people in their life. So yeah, it's been super fun to have it. And I also have a podcast now, the Onus Podcast, which I bring on the parents and the providers on the podcast, and I just hope that eventually this can help bring down the maternal mortality rate. I hope that it can help reduce the lack of postpartum support and reduce the rates of obstetric violence that we're seeing in the United States. I want to see more pregnant postpartum individuals getting the proper support that they need, while also getting the education about why these extra maternity care providers are an option and why they are so important. So I love it, and I have some exciting news with that, but probably not coming for a couple of months, but I'm super excited for it. And I'm trying to think, yeah, I started a business. I'm starting another business that I'm not going to talk about yet because that one's in the works. That's a small business, but I'm really excited for it. It like gets into my creative side, and it's something I've always wanted to do. I just thought originally I'd do it on a larger scale, but this is going to be on a small scale, and I'm totally okay with that, actually. I'm really excited for it, and I will let you all know when that happens. When the big announcement with the Onus Collaborative happens, we'll definitely let you guys know. You'll probably see it before you see it on my YouTube. I'm trying to think what else. So yeah, I'm officially a functional nutritional therapy practitioner, and I kind of went silent on Moonli for a couple of months. I am actually completely starting up Moonli again. I'll show you guys. I even have like all photos ready for the next, like, maybe like 2 or 3 months. I don't know. Can you guys see that? There we go. Yeah, so I have all of my photos ready, and I'm slowly working on captions. But essentially, I was really confused on what I wanted Moonli to be. But now that I have the functional nutritional therapy background, I know exactly what I want to do. So, what is this YouTube account going to be now? That's probably the question you guys are asking. Like, you're telling this long tangent. Okay, what is this YouTube account going to be now? We are still going to be talking about endo. We're going to be talking about fibroids, painful periods, PMS, all of the science behind it, and ways that you can support your system. And now I'm also going to be adding in recipes. So we're going to do some fun recipes. I haven't figured out exactly how to record those nicely, but just like some fun recipes that you might be having trouble trying to get. So for example, a lot of people with endometriosis have a lot of food sensitivities and allergies, mainly because of the gut. Food sensitivities and allergies are not normal, but incredibly common. I would love to start putting recipes on here to help you guys, I don't know, get a bit more creative about what you can do to support your gut and support yourself, but still be happy. So things like, you know, like some whole food meals where you can get all your veggies and your protein and all of that in. Some sweet treats, but with natural sugars rather than refined sugars. So I'm really, really excited for that. We're definitely gonna be doing that. And one of the other fun little things I'm going to be adding on here just for like the sake of it is I'm going to be doing little vlogs where me and my partner go away to the coast, because I don't know, I think Australia is a pretty cool country, and when you're going to the coast, like, it's super nice. And when we're in Canberra, I personally just don't see a point in showing you guys my Canberra life. It's just, I don't hike, I don't bike, I just kind of do my own thing. I go on walks, but that's it. So I will definitely show you guys some of our vlogs. Those won't be every week, but just occasionally. Like right now I think I have 5 or 6 recorded, so yeah, that's like a month and a half, 2 months, depending on how often I come out with them. I'm hoping to have YouTube videos every week, so that's either going to be recipes, informational, my experience, like some of those. That's like my goal, is at least one a week. And my blog is going to be coming back up. Blog is also going to be informational and actually written recipes. I know for some people they prefer video recipes, some people prefer written. I probably prefer written when it comes to recipes. Written works better for me, but I know some people prefer video, so we're going to do that as well. And also, what the heck am I going to do with this functional nutritional therapy practitioner? So to start, I'm just going to, you know, get back into things and start giving you guys like free resources again. I haven't done that in so long. And then I actually am going to start taking clients over the next few months. If you are interested in working with me, especially if you have endo, fibroids, painful periods, or PMS, I am more than happy to like hear from you. If you go to my website and you go to services, you can actually click, I think it's like add me to the list or something, and that'll add you to the list, and you can tell me just a brief summary of what you are hoping to work on with me specifically. And I hope to work with some of you guys. Look, oh, that was the other thing. I wanted to update you guys on my period. So, interesting stuff. My period prior to December was actually pretty good. Like, the pain was maybe an hour. Granted, if you haven't watched my endometriosis story, my period pain used to last 8 hours, throwing up, diarrhea, not able to walk, 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen, and it didn't do squat. And now I'm down to an hour, no pain meds. Maybe the highest level of pain is like a 4, and I just have to lay down with a hot water bottle for an hour, but I can get up, I can move around, I can go on, I wouldn't go on a walk, but I'm not having diarrhea, I'm pooping normally, I'm not throwing up, I'm not nauseous. Now, moving to December. In December, I decided to add in B12. There's many reasons for this. When they ran my blood test, I was actually not deficient in B12, but there were a lot of signs pointing to B12 that I was finding issues with, that I was going to the doctor, and the doctors just didn't really have answers for. For example, I've been anemic for like the past 8 years, which isn't surprising with endo, but no matter how many times I've tried adding iron in, I am still anemic. I have Raynaud syndrome, which is in the winter time, I essentially, like, my fingers will go white, and that's because the lack of blood flow is completely gone because I get so cold, and so the only way to get blood flow back is to run under hot water. And I also started getting these lines on my nails, and they're often either associated with autoimmune disease, B12 deficiency, or skin cancer. I went to a dermatologist. He's more than confident it's not skin cancer because it's almost on all of my nails, including my toenails. I also mainly follow a pescatarian diet. I have chicken, but mainly pescatarian because of my endometriosis. Red meat really inflames endometriosis, and I have this personally, so I don't have red meat, and that's a large portion of where you get B12 from. I also, about 2 or 3 years ago, started getting ringing in my ears, especially in the middle of the night. I'm always tired. I get heart palpitations, and when I had my colonoscopy, they found a polyp, non-cancerous, thank the Lord, but when I was doing more research around bowel cancer, I know most research says that people who eat lots of red meat typically get bowel cancer, and I was also doing more research around the vegan diet because I know I've heard obviously great things about the vegan diet as well, and there were even people there saying, no, I've had friends who've pretty much been vegan their whole entire life who still had bowel cancer, so there's more to it than just red meat. Don't get me wrong, I do think there's a lot of issues with red meat in today's world. I think that mainly has to do with the way that we raise and feed our animals rather than just it being red meat, but that's for a whole new conversation. I can actually do a YouTube video on that if you guys would like me to. But essentially, in my deep research, that was also associated with a B12 deficiency and how that affects the colon. So all of those things I listed, when I really dug deep in my research, I found a B12 deficiency often was associated with those. And the other thing was that even though my blood test came back normal, I took a blood test in Australia for them to test my B12. It came back normal, but they actually find people with African descent have higher levels of B12. And because I'm here in Australia, there aren't many Africans, they wouldn't think to compare it to that population. So I decided to prescribe myself B12, and this last month I was exposed to a lot of foods that I was allergic to. So my period was quite painful. I had 2 rounds of diarrhea, 1 round of throwing up, but I had the longest luteal phase I ever had. So typically your luteal phase is after you ovulate, before your period, usually around that PMS time. So that should be anywhere from 12 to 16 days long. Mine mainly was usually like 10 to 12 days. And if I made it to 12, it's because I was spotting 10 and 11. And this time I made it 14 days. My luteal phase was 14 days, absolutely no spotting. Longest luteal phase I've ever had. So the B12 has actually made a massive difference. Also, hormonal birth control depletes our B complexes, especially B12. So B12 has been huge in my diet this past 2 months, and it's made a huge difference. So I'm super thankful for it. And now we're into January, and so far so good. I was definitely tired right after that period because there was a lot of blood clots and everything as well. But now I'm super good, and kind of just trying to keep my inflammation down, eating a lot of like vegetarian meals with some chicken, lots of fish, so a lot of pescatarian meals really. But I am super excited to be back, and I just am so thankful for all of you that have been here, and the comments I've been getting since I've been quiet have been just so lovely and so nice, and I'm really glad that this platform has been educational and helpful because that is the main purpose. I want people to have power over their bodies, over their voice, and over their decisions about their life. I know endometriosis has no cure, but I do think that nutrition can help with the symptoms. I do think that nutrition has a foundation, even if you don't even want to know about the food you're allergic to, or you don't think you're allergic to anything. At least finding out about your vitamin and mineral deficiencies can help. Like I said, B12 has already lengthened my cycle. We need magnesium in our diet so that our uterus is able to contract properly. We also need fats in our diet to help with our prostaglandin levels, which helps with our period pain. So even if you know that you don't have allergies or sensitivities, I still want to be able to support you guys in that way with vitamins and minerals and helping that, hoping that will help your symptoms. So I think that's it for today. I'm glad I recorded this video. I think I'm gonna go get ready to get my partner from work. And I think that's it. I'm just really happy to be back. And if you're new here, please remember to subscribe and comment. Where are you guys from? Where are you from in the world? I am very, very excited to see you all. And also feel free to follow me on Instagram at moonli.x. That's mainly where I'll be posting at least 3 times a week, I think. Yeah. All right. I will see you all later. Bye.